So I'm finally back with another video. It's been a couple months since I posted my last one here on YouTube. A lot of stuff has changed. A lot of stuff's been going on since my last video. We're not going to talk about any of that in today's video, but moving forward, I will start updating you guys on what's been going on. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But in today's video, we are going to both the thrift store and we're going to the flea market to try to find some new inventory to list on eBay. So first I'm going to show you some footage from when we went to Savers, and then I'm going to run inside and show you all the stuff that we got, what we paid for them, and what I think we can sell them for. Some of the stuff has already actually sold and it's only been a couple days. And then I'll show you some of the footage from the flea market. We went over to our local flea market today, so I'll show you some of that. And then I'll show you some things that have sold over the last few days as well. So let's get into the thrift store footage first. The first thing that I checked out in this thrift store was the DVD and book section. You can see the prices there are really good, up to $1 for books and DVDs. I was looking for any big DVD bundles or any big book sets or any video games that I can find in this section here. The only thing that I did come across was this Wii game, Super Mario Galaxy. But after running comps, $14, $15 free shipping, I decided to leave this game behind. I then jumped over to the clothing racks over here to look through the shirts. This one kind of caught my eye, 2016 Dallas Cowboys playoff shirt. I thought this one had some potential on it. They were asking $4 for this shirt. I don't think it's worth much, but I decided to throw it in the cart here just to run some comps on it to see if it was worth picking up. I then hopped over to the pants section. I saw these Lion Dynasty pants. I've never ran across this brand. They look kind of unique, but after running comps, they weren't really worth much. But I gotta say, I haven't been to this thrift store in a long time. This one is St. Vincent de Paul. I usually go to Savers or Goodwill. And at this specific thrift store, I was running across a bunch of brands that I've never seen before. Obviously like those Lion Dynasty ones. These are just Wranglers, but they're flame resistant. I looked those up too. They weren't really worth much. But again, I was running across a lot of unique or brands that I've never heard of at this thrift store, like these corduroys here. Red camel pants. I'm not saying that they're worth much, but I just never ran across these brands. I looked them up, but unfortunately none of those were worth anything. I actually didn't walk away with anything at that first thrift store. I looked up another one. We found this one right here, Assistance League Thrift Shop. So as soon as I walked in the doors, I saw the DVD section here. So again, I went ahead and took a look here. I picked this one up because I saw that it was new and sealed. Anytime I see sealed movie sets, I go ahead and run comps on them. I'm glad I did, because at $12, I went ahead and picked this up. And look at this, we sold it for $79.35 free shipping. And I think that sold within 3 or 4 days or so. So definitely a good pickup there. I saw this quilt as well. They were only charging, I believe, $3.50 for this one. We've had a little bit of luck with quilts in the past, so I went ahead and picked that one up. This one right here was also a really good purchase. $22. I did pay up a little bit for this. Again, it was new and sealed, but this one also sold in a couple days. This one sold for $69.54 plus $10 shipping. So we made a really good profit on that one as well. And this next one here, I kind of wanted to pick this one up. This one is a Vera Bradley brand. I've never run across this before. I've run across the purses and wallets and stuff like that. But this is one of those things that you store your clothes in. They were asking $18 for this. I think I ran comps and there was some like $40, $45-ish or so. But at that price point, I just went ahead and left it behind. I looked through the clothing section here. This was a really nice Columbia set here, but they were asking $30. It was like the raincoat rubber material. I know it doesn't come through too good on camera. We left that one behind because it was priced at $18. This is like a motorcycle set, but I did find this one in that same rack. This one is an Icon Motorsports motorcycle pants. I did go ahead and pick this one up. They were asking $10 for this one. We currently have these listed at $88.24. That might be a little high. I think we can still get about $70 or so. But this was definitely still a good pickup. So that was our trip to the 2 different thrift stores. We actually didn't pick up that many things, but that DVD, as you saw, turned out to be a really good sale. Here are the numbers and the breakdown on that sale. So I'm using the eBay fee calculator to show you the amount of profit we made on that sale. So we sold it for $79.35. It was free shipping, so $0 to the buyer. I haven't done the shipping on this yet because we just sold it today, but I'm assuming it's going to cost somewhere around $7 with medium mail. And then the item cost was $12. We do promote all of our items in our store at 4.5%. So you can see on the top there, the total profit that we're making on this item is $45.80. And it looks like that's a 241% return on investment. So now we're going to jump into the flea market footage. I did have my GoPro on me, but I think like 20 minutes in, my storage on there got full, so I didn't get to record our entire trip there. So after the footage that I do show you, we'll jump back in here and I'll show you all the things that I picked up. Now, we haven't been to the flea market in probably over a year. So when we showed up to this flea market, all the prices were crazy high on everything, like video games. The same video game that I saw at that thrift store, it was a Wii Sports game for $5. They were selling that same one at this flea market for $20. And a bunch of other video games for like $20 each. And then stuff like smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms. Every time I go to Savers, I always pick up those smoke alarms there for like $6 or $7. They do sell for like $25 or so, somewhere around there. I found the same ones at this flea market and they were asking $15 a piece for those same ones. Stuff that was just in really bad condition, they were asking for the same price that they sell over on eBay. So we were a little surprised on the prices there, so we didn't pick up too much. Luckily, towards the end, like the last two aisles when we were leaving, those ended up being the best ones. We ended up finding a bunch of stuff there, which again, I'll show you as soon as we run through this footage here. So let's go jump into the footage that I did get at the flea market and show you what we ran across. So the first vendor that I ran across when we walked into this flea market was this guy right here. He had a full rack of Ariat shirts. These were all brand new with tags. Now I kind of regret not asking how much these were. I just assumed they were going to be really expensive. But you can see all of these here, the Columbia shirts. They had a few other ones, I think Cinch and a few other brand shirts in here. But again, all of these were brand new with tags. I'm assuming these will probably sell for like $15 to $20 at the most. And they were probably asking like $5 or $10. So I just went ahead and left these behind. I didn't even bother asking. I saw this basketball sitting there. I didn't pick this up, but just for the heck of it, I went ahead and ran comps. It looks like these are selling anywhere from about $12 to $20 plus shipping on eBay. I didn't pick this one up. I don't think the profit was there, so I just went ahead and left that one behind. I also ran across some baseball bats. I was looking for any of the good brands. I didn't see anything there. I saw some baseball gloves over here as well. I went ahead and looked through them. I didn't buy any of these, but when I got home and I was reviewing this footage, I went ahead and looked up comps just to see if I missed anything. It looks like this rolling gloves right here sells anywhere between $18 and $25. So this one might have been worth it if I could have picked it up for $1 or $2. Again, I don't know why I didn't ask for the price on these. I need to get better at doing that, but I just went ahead and left those gloves behind as well. And then I saw this Denver Broncos puffer jacket. I almost picked this one up. I saw that it had a tear right there in the front. Besides that, it was in pretty good condition. I still almost bought it with that hole in it, but then when I went ahead and tried to zip up the jacket, it kind of got jammed up on me. I did get it to go up here, but then I noticed that one of the little parts of the zipper actually broke off. You can kind of see it there. So I just went ahead and left that one behind. I didn't pick that up. Just across the aisle from that jacket there, I saw this tote full of DVDs and video games. I went ahead and looked through here, but honestly, I need to get a lot better at the video game category. I feel like I'm always leaving stuff behind because I don't know too much about the good ones to look out for. So I kind of just looked up a couple of them, ran comps on the ones I thought might have been worth something, but I didn't see anything that was high value here. And on top of that, they were asking a lot of money for these video games. I found this one right here. It's a Wii Sports. I actually found one at the Assistance League thrift shop for $5, but it was really scratched up, so I didn't pick it up. I asked this guy how much he wanted for this game, and again, this one was overpriced as well. How much are your games?
20.
Huh?
20 each.
20 each? So unfortunately, that's the end of the flea market footage. Next time, I'll make sure to be a little more prepared and clear space and all that good stuff. But right now, I want to go ahead and show you what we got. It was only a handful of things. Again, It was really expensive, and we're being a little more picky on the stuff that we pick up. There was a lot of things we could have picked up to make like $7 or $8 profit, but we're not about doing that anymore. We're trying to make at least $15 to $20 profit per item. I know that doesn't always happen, and when we need inventory to list, when we're running low on stuff, we'll just pick things up even if it's a little below that profit margin. But let me go ahead and show you the things that we did pick up. Okay, so starting off with item number one, we picked up this Champion windbreaker right here. This is actually in really good condition. I looked it over from front to back. I couldn't find any flaws with this thing. Everything's intact, no holes, no rips, anything like that. So $2 on this one. I did some quick comps on this thing, and it's not going to get us tons of money, but it's going to be somewhere around like $17 or $18 plus shipping. So for $2, this was kind of a no-brainer. Item number two, my wife found this one. I know these are Vera Bradleys. I know they don't go for tons of money, but anytime we find these, my wife picks them up because we do move them fairly quickly. This one, I think she picked up for $1, maybe $2 at the most. But again, this one's in good condition. We're probably just gonna throw it in the washer just to clean it up a bit. But the zipper works, everything's good on this one. This will probably be another $14 to $15 item plus shipping. Item number three, this was one of the very last stops that we did. This guy, again, I don't have footage of this, but he just had a bunch of stuff all over the floor. He was asking almost $1 for everything in his whole stand. My wife found this Canon camera bag. This looks pretty old. I'm not sure the age on this thing. It's in good condition, minus, some dirt and stuff right here on this Canon logo. But everything works on this thing. All the buckles, the zippers. It even has like the original Canon manual in there. It has a bunch of different compartments in here to store like camera lenses and cameras and all that stuff. So this is a really good one. I can't remember the comps on this one, but we paid $2 for this one. So we're about $5 in for these three items. At that same stand, we found 3 different hats. This one, I like picking up hats and like clothing and shirts. That's a thing that I'm always going towards. I really like looking for clothing and hats. This one right here is a Under Armour University of Arlington basketball hat. It's in good condition. It's a buckle hat. Has a little bit of dirt right there on the bill, which we'll go ahead and clean up. This one, all these hats right here were $1. So $1 for this hat. And just like I'm going to show you on some other stuff that we found last week at Savers, I heard this in a tech and sports video, which is really true. And I started to think about this when I'm outsourcing. So whenever you can stack things in your advantage, for instance, on this one, this is a Under Armour hat, which is 1 layer. An Under Armour hat will always sell on its own. But when you go ahead and stack it up with another thing, like a basketball team, that's 2 things that this hat has going for it. So more things that you can layer on top of that. If it's like a good size, if we're looking at like shirts, if you find like a 2X or 3X, that's going to be another layer on that item that's going to help it sell. And then obviously if it has like a fast sell-through rate, that's going to help your item even more. So when you're outsourcing, when you're looking at items, whenever you can stack things like Nike plus a college team, that's always going to be to your advantage. So $1 on that hat, that will probably sell for like $12, $13. This one right here, it is a post office hat. Here are the comps that I saw on this one on eBay. This one surprisingly is going to do pretty good for us. And we only paid $1 for this hat as well. And then hat number 3, or this is a visor. It's a Ritz-Carlton Naples visor. It is a little dirty right here. It has a little bit of staining, which we'll go ahead and try to get cleaned up. $1 on this one, and here are the comps for this. I never ran across these, but I saw the Ritz-Carlton. Obviously, the Ritz-Carlton is a really fancy hotel. So that's why I picked this one up. The comps ended up being pretty good on this one. So another $1 on this one. And then these 2 I got from another vendor right before those. I paid $3 for this sweater. I don't know why I picked this one up. I think I was getting a little desperate to get inventory, which I'm trying to stop doing, because sometimes you end up paying on $1 or $2 for something. I know it's not much, but if it's not a good item, it just ends up sitting there. This had kind of like a Patagonia type feel to it with the design. But this brand I never heard of. Let me know if you've heard of this brand before. It's VTG 1946. I mean, the quality feels really good. It's really thick and warm. It has like the thing here. It has a button. It's hooded. Really good condition. All the buttons work. All that kind of good stuff. So this is, I would say, almost in like new condition. So we paid $3 for this one. I really couldn't find any exact comps looking up this brand. So I'm assuming $15 to $20 minimum on this one right here, and we paid $3 for it. And then the last thing that we found at this flea market, I actually thought this was going to be a little better, but we're still going to make some money on it. This is a Grateful Dead tie-dye sweater. Obviously, I saw the Grateful Dead. I don't know too much about it, but I always see people selling like the vintage shirts, the true vintage shirts for really good money. This is there's a tag right there on it. This is a size XL, so it is a good size. We only paid $2 for this one. In the comps, it does have a 100% sell-through rate. I think there was 7 or 8 for sale and 7 sold. So it's like a 90 to 100% sell-through rate on this. And these are selling for about $19 to $20 plus shipping. So at $2 into $20, not bad at all. This is going to make us a profit for sure. So total cost of goods is going to be $14 paid for all those items at the flea market. Now, we weren't happy about the amount of items that we found at the flea market. So on the way home, we looked up a thrift store that we've never been to. So we went ahead and hit this thrift store right here, which was absolutely packed. I mean, the line was probably like a 20-minute line. I didn't get any footage inside this thrift store. I wish I would have. But we picked up 3 items here. One, which is going to make us some really good profit. So let me go ahead and show you the items that we found at this thrift store. All right, so we found 3 items here. The first one was this Levi's jacket here. It looks like a woman's raincoat. This is some really nice material. I know you can't really see it through the camera here. It doesn't really come through. But this thing, except for this right here, there's a little tear in the inside liner. It's like a 1-inch tear, but besides that, this thing is in perfect condition. Now, we paid $7.99 for this jacket, and there's comps $20 to $25. I think I even seen one closer to $30. So $7.99 for this first one right here. Item number 2, I'll save the best one for last. But here's another example of stacking up brands or stacking up different layers. This one's a Vineyard Vines jacket, and it's also a Patriots. So Vineyard Vines plus Patriots, we ended up paying, what is it here, $7.99 for this one as well. And here are the comps for this one. This one's not going to do bad at all. I know this one will sell. We are coming to the close of the football season, and the Patriots didn't make the playoffs. So I don't know how well this is going to sell this time of year. But I picked this one up for $7.99. I know we'll make a nice profit on that one. And then this item right here, I don't know what drew me to this one, or I can tell you what drew me to it, but I didn't know it was going to be worth so much. This right here, Stanley Cup champions. The thing that drew me to this one was the date, 2011. So anything that has an older date, I always look at it. This one ended up being worth about $80 or so in pre-owned condition. There's one that's new with tags that's listed for about $120. I don't know what it is about this one. And we only paid $5.99. Here is the tag. It's a Carl Banks. I saw that in the title of a lot of these. I'm not even sure who that is, what this thing is, but I'm not complaining, man. For $80, even if we get $70 for this thing, this one is a size 2XL. So XXL on this one, really good condition, no tears, no stains. It's not faded or anything. So I was really surprised on this one. I'm glad we made the stop at the thrift store. So those are the 3 items that we found on the way home after leaving the flea market. So I was going to show you the other stuff that we found at Savers last week. There was some pretty cool items that we found there, but I don't want this video to get too long. So as these things sell in future videos, I'll just go ahead and mention where we picked them up, how much we paid, the profit and all that good stuff like I always do. So I really appreciate any of you who made it to this point of the video. Again, I'm gonna be a lot more consistent this year in 2025, making more videos. The only reason I kind of dropped off is because I was trying to create like over the top videos where I'm just gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna stop overthinking it, and I'm just gonna document what I'm going through. When I go to the thrift stores, yard sales, flea markets, whatever I'm doing, I'm just gonna go ahead and document it, document my sales and stuff like that. Obviously, as I go forward and forward, I can get better at making videos. But for now, I'm just gonna document and show you guys what I'm up to in my business and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate every single one of you who jump in here, view the channel, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. So I look forward to making more videos and seeing what 2025 has to bring for us in our business.